English short stories for beginners. 100 English short stories to improve vocabulary and learn English in a fun way. Learning English through short stories, episode 9. Number 24. Big lenders, big spenders. After work, I sometimes go to a pub. Usually, I order a large beer, and if there is chance, I'll watch a football match. Most men who go into the pub are regular customers, and some of them I know personally. For me, it's always fascinating to learn about their different backgrounds. There is one customer that I believe has come there every day for years. He likes to talk about himself, that he is a successful businessman and that he is a wealthy man. One day, he is asking me for a favor. He asks if I can lend him 50 pounds. Normally, I am not someone who lends money easily. Anyway, he told me that I'd get it back tomorrow, so I gave him the money. The next evening, he showed up in the pub and he gave me back my money without much ado. A week passed by and that old customer asked me again for money. Again, I gave him some as I accepted to get paid back the next day, just as before. Strangely, the next evening the man didn't show up. I asked the bartender and the other customers if anyone had seen the man. I was dumbfounded when I found out that yesterday the man borrowed money from many people, sometimes hundreds of pounds. We gave it to him because he paid us back before. However, we never saw that man again. Number 55. Traffic and kids. Our son is already 6 years old. It's time that he learns some of the traffic rules since he loves riding his bicycle through the neighborhood. We tell him if he crosses a street, he must look to his right side first. Then he must check his left side, and only when no cars are coming is he allowed to cross the street. Especially when he sees a stop sign or traffic light, he must be very careful. It sees a red light for pedestrians. He must stop and wait until it turns green. Some areas even have a few bicycle lanes, something that is kind of new to us. But even with those lanes, kids must be careful to use them and never speed. Number 56. Down with the pounds. Recently, Maria has gained some weight. Every morning, she weighs herself on a scale. Yesterday, the scale hit at over 200 pounds, almost to the limit. She feels a little ashamed of herself, especially since everybody else in her family is rather slim. For Christmas, she accepts all of her family to come for visits. Her parents and siblings are worried about her weight problem. Maria has told them not to worry because she is working on a new diet plan which she has received from a good friend. Simply put her new diet consistently. When Christmas finally arrives, she gets into an argument with her parents. They accuse her of not keeping her diet since they cannot tell if Maria has lost or gained weight. About a month later, Maria sends her family photos of herself. The pictures show the scale at her feet. Amazingly, she weighs only 120 pounds. All of her family congratulates her on what a wonderful job she had done. However, Maria has a secret. For the photo shoots, she has manipulated the scale and just turned it back a little. Number 57. Kindness. Steven is a movie buff. Today is Friday and for this evening he plans to go to a theater to watch a newly released movie. Steven arrives at the theater early, but there is already a long line in front of the box office. Interestingly, there are also many elderly people waiting in line. That's probably because on weekends they also show a few classic movies. Although the movie Steve wants to see starts in a few minutes, he offers an elderly couple to go before him. He understands well that it must be hard for them to stay in line, especially because of the rainy weather. Steve is still staying in the line as he sees a piece of paper on the floor. He takes a closer look and discovers that the paper is a $20 bill. He picks up the money and wonders if somebody in front of him might have dropped it. The elderly couple watches him. Suddenly, they approach him. It might well be that we just dropped the money by accident. But since you are such a kind person, it's all yours. Number 58. A helping hand. Steven is 15 years old. From Monday to Friday. He goes to school and around 1 o'clock he takes the bus home. Usually, the bus is crowded with other students. Sometimes, the elderly take the bus too, as many of them are just too old to drive a car. Steven is a kind and compassionate young man. If he sees an elderly person riding on the bus, he offers his seat. Because of older people, it can be very hard to stand on a moving bus. At the bus station, there is a traffic light for pedestrian. It has a new system where one has to push a button to get a green light. Many elderly have trouble with this, and Steven never hesitates to help old people to cross the street. Steven already has an idea of what he wants to do in the future. He thinks it would be very rewarding work if he could become a professional caretaker. Number 59. My hobbies. My name is Miriam, and I have many hobbies. The reason is simple. I just have many different interests. As a kid, I had a large doll collection. But now, my likes have changed. Nowadays, I am very much interested in art. I like to paint, and I am especially fond of reading books. I read all kinds of non-fiction books, even history. I also like to play the piano. Music is one of my favorite pastimes. Being involved with many hobbies is a tradition in our family. My sisters like to read books about philosophy, and everyone in my family participates in cultural activities. Besides reading and music, I also like to play tennis on special occasions, such as on vacation, I like to play golf. My parents are much more into animal breeding. My father is an expert with dogs and exotic animals. If time allows, I love to travel. However, I consider myself more of an explorer than a typical tourist. Having many hobbies and doing a lot of sports keeps my mind and body active and helps me to look forward in life as well. Number 60. Vacation is important. My name is Astrid. I have planned my vacation for over 6 months. I am from Sweden and the winters are dark and cold there. I have not made a career choice to speak of, but I have saved enough money for an extended vacation in Southern Europe. Vacation is something I take very seriously and I try to plan as early as possible. That's because during school holidays and especially in the winter time, the airlines raise airfares disproportionately. Next month, I will begin my winter vacation. I will fly to the island of the Tenerife, which is a part of Spain, but is located far out in the Atlantic Ocean. I am excited about my upcoming vacation, as vacation time for me is the most important time of the year. Watch the continuation of this series in the next video. Thank you so much for watching this far into the video. Remember to subscribe to the Mr. English channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when I post new videos.